Ian, thanks for joining us. Wondering what your views are of the 90. What's your kind of key takeaway from the game as a manager?
Probably mixed emotions this evening, Davey. I felt in the game we actually worked incredibly hard in the game. I felt the players were giving absolutely everything out there on the pitch today, that's for sure. They kept going right till the end, looking for that elusive equaliser. But we also have to appreciate we put ourselves in a position again where we're quite comfortable within the game, try and get to half time and regroup and reorganise, and then we concede a goal. And when a game's like that and it's in the balance, it can go either way, and today it's went against us. But in terms of the attitude and the commitment of the players, I don't question that for 1 minute. We've had some really good opportunities in the game to extend our lead, and then we've had good opportunities to equalise, and it's not happened.
I guess the talk across the town will be this kind of two sides of the coin, where a great goalkeeping in the goal frame keeps us at bay, but equally at the other hand, if you're looking half empty, it's a set piece and a quite predictable ball into the box that's a undoing. What was your view of that?
Yeah, the second goal is really frustrating. I think there's a lot of aspects within that. There's probably four areas in the whole goal. In the build-up, we were sloppy with a pass, we then dip our toe into a tackle, we then have an opportunity to maybe put the ball out for a throw, and then we give away a corner kick, and then we don't defend the corner kick, we get done, which can happen at set plays. But frustration on that one more than anything else. The first goal, again, really good finish from the player. It's happened really quickly, but you let players inside, you give them a chance, and don't get me wrong, the guy's got a lot to do up at that point, but he executes it really well, and we just had to try and find a way to try and win the game, and we didn't. So yeah, frustration on the goals that we've conceded, obviously, and we have to look at them and try and get better at them and understand how we're letting teams get into these areas of the park, and then they're capitalising, and then we have to look at our chances that we've missed at the other end a bit. Can we be a bit more ruthless? Can we demand a little bit more from ourselves and try and put games to bed a bit earlier?
A really rare home defeat for us, but only 2 points out of 9 in our last 3 games. How do we regroup? How do we rally? What's the missing point for yourself?
We keep going. It's as simple as that. This is the expectations have gone up because of how well the players have done at the start of the season, or certainly in the first half of the season. And my message to them inside the changing room after the game was that's exactly what it is. It's a sticky period for us. That's all it is. We keep working hard. We try and find our swagger again. That we've just dropped 5-10%. I mean, you drop 5-10% in any walk of life, it's going to be difficult for you. When you add in the mix of this really tough competitive league, then it becomes even harder. But perspective on everything and long term. The boys have been amazing up until this point. At this stage of the season, there's always finding results. We just need to get ourselves back in the groove, back on track, get a few bodies back, and then move forward.
I think any fair-minded fan would be looking and saying it's been incredible what's been delivered so far, but I sense that there will be a wee sense that some people will be rocking a wee bit, thinking, a back two at the end shows willing, but we're putting ourselves in the position where we're having to chase games and say we'll score 3 if we've got to, we'll score 4 if we've got to. Actually 1 and 2 is what people are looking for. Is there a missing element that you're zoning in on just now in terms of the wider setup of the squad?
It's always when you win games by going 2-3 at the back, whatever it is, or you're winning games, everybody's happy. When you lose games, everybody's looking at the other side of the coin. I certainly won't be rocking, and the players won't be rocking. That's a guarantee, because we're in this for the long haul. We knew there was going to be bumps in the road and bad results and poor performances, but over the piece of the season, the boys have done amazing. We have to remember that, and when you become successful or have some success, you're always a target for people. That's no doubt going to happen to us over the next few days, and we take our medicine, we take it on the chin. But sometimes when these things happen, you batter down the hatches a little bit and you become really resilient, and you look forward to it even more.
We're certainly not going to sit on this side of the camera, and we're fully embracing what's happening round about us. But I do kind of think back to the bit about you saying we initially look at what the gap is to 5th place, and I think we're sitting something like 15 points away from that. I think to focus on that is useful, but there's no indication across anyone that I've spoke to that we're in any way giving quarter on the chance of chasing the title. No,
again, I say to players, we take the hurt today, we take disappointment of our last 3-4 games as well, because you have to acknowledge them, and we've wanted more points than the return has given us. Yeah, look, we're joint top of the league. You know, Dundee United's got a game in hand, we understand that, but we saw the game last night, or most of us saw it, and it was a very, very close game, and that's how quick it can turn as well. So we're still well in this. You know, we've got an okay gap to third position, but that gap can become smaller and smaller very, very quickly. So our aim now is to enjoy the cup games that we have coming up, but also we need to pick up, you know, 3 points in the league games.
Kyle Turner gets his debut today. He's a player that's got all of the tools to make an impact here at Raith Rovers at Starts Park and beyond. Tell us a wee bit about that signing and tell us how you thought he fitted in today. How are you going to use him?
Yeah, I thought Kyle done well today. You know, Kyle's name came up a couple of weeks ago, and you know, we just like him as a player. I've worked with Kyle before. He's got a little bit of everything. He's got a little bit more experience now than he had previously. He was a standout in this division last season. He's got a little bit of grit, determination, and certainly a lot of quality. So some days you look at it and you think, if a good player becomes available, you go and if it's within your means, you go and try and sign them. He showed an incredible appetite to be here. He really did. He was, you know, moving heaven and earth, I think, up at Ross County to try and get himself down to Kirkcaldy, which is a fantastic sign. So not the ideal start for him scoreline wise, but in the game itself, I thought he done well. A quiet start and then grew himself into it. He's going to get better and better. He just adds another dimension to us, another cog to the wheel.
Have you got a kind of laser focus on what you think's required, or are you just kind of rolling day to day to see what comes your way, what options are available? Have you got a sense of is there something that's absolutely key in terms of your shopping list?
Yeah, I think again it's who becomes available kind of twists your arm a little bit or forces your arm, and you can't, you know, knock back good players if you can bring them in. It's about bringing standards higher. It's about driving players harder. You know, we might have, you know, 4 or 5 really good attacking options, for example, but if someone comes up who we think can put pressure on players or even be better than what we have, then we'll go and try and sign them. And that, we're no different to any other club. It's a notoriously difficult window that we're in, but there's also options out there. There is scope for us to bring in 1 or 2 more and see if we can improve the squad, and that's what it's all about, improving the squad. That's the mentality we have. It's all about the team. If you look at the bench today, I know we didn't have too many on the bench, but our quality was still there. You know, Jamie Gullen and Callum Smith, Scott McGill, Adam Masson and Callum Hanna. So we'll just keep trying to add quality players.
In terms of changes to the bench and changes to the squad, we know we've got some players coming back from longer term injuries, and you know, you give us an update when the time's right. We knew Ross Millen was missing. The red card took care of that, but Ian Murray, Ross Matthews and Big Kev, are these lads kind of close to being involved?
Yeah, they are. I mean, Ross and Keith just picked up a couple of wee niggles towards the end of the week, which was really, really frustrating for them and disappointing as well, but nothing of massive concern. You know, we're expecting these guys to train Monday, Tuesday, that's for sure. Kev's the same. Kev very, very close today. Probably 80 to 85% fit for the game, but you know, when Andy done so well last week, you know, we now know we've got a very steady and capable deputy, and we just felt maybe playing Kev could be silly long term. Ross Millen will come back obviously next week after his suspension, and Sam Stanton's probably, you know, 3-4 weeks away maximum, which is really good news. So although we look really light and thin today on paper, underneath the surface when you scratch it, we're actually not too bad, and I'm expecting a fairly strong squad in the next sort of 3 to 4 days.
Great. I was struck when you were saying about it's time for the group to be resilient and back each other up and go again and rally, that maybe you could also be talking about us as supporters and a Scottish Cup tie in the horizon. That does give us a break. I wonder if this tie's coming at the right time. The Cup brings a wee bit extra magic on the road. I think Rovers fans they know how to get to Livingston over the years. It's a regular draw we get. Is that break coming at the right time? Well, is that change? It's certainly not a break.
Yeah, it probably is. I'm quite glad myself that we've got a wee different one next week. It's going to be a really, really tough game at Livingston, who are obviously loads of experience and a team that's been in the top league now for a number of years. But we go there full of optimism, we really do. And as I said to the players after the game, I've backed them 100% every single week, regardless of who we're playing. I believe in them 100%. Just because we lose a couple of games, that doesn't change for me. We've got some really good players. Their attitude and, as I say, their commitment and work rate towards what they've done so far has been an example to everybody. I know the supporters are going to be disappointed when we lose games. That's the nature of the beast, you know. But again, you look at probably 90% of the supporters here today, you know, clapping the boys off. The 10% that booed the boys off, that's not for me.
I can only agree with your final comment, and the sentiment before that. We'll certainly be behind you and alongside you as we head on Scottish Cup duty next Saturday.
Thank you. Cheers, Dave.